How's it going, everybody? So today we're back to reviewing Netflix films, and today we got The Legacy of the Whitetail Deer Hunter. This one intrigued me because it's from one of the creators of Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals, and it stars Josh Brolin and Danny McBride, who's from both of those shows. And it seemed decent enough from the trailers I've seen, so figured I'd give it a watch. So the film pretty much is about Josh Brolin's character. He's like this celebrity hunter type, and he's kind of going through a rough time because he's divorced and hasn't really been connecting with his kid as much in recent years because of the divorce, and his ex-wife has a new man, and all those struggles you see in a lot of films. And he wants to reconnect with him by going on this trip to kill his first whitetail deer. And he brings Danny McBride along because he's his cameraman for all of his stuff with his show. So it's all about him reconnecting with his son in the wilderness, as you do. I'm really starting to feel like I can't escape Josh Brolin because he was Thanos, Cable, he was in Sicario 2, and now he's in this. But he does a great job in this as well. It's definitely not his best performance by any means, but he does a serviceable job in this role. His character's very macho, but he does have some inner conflict, some, demons, because, dealing with alcoholism and not being around his son recently, and he's going through the divorce, and all he has is really this show and Danny McBride. And so he has his own inner issues with Danny McBride's character as well. But it's all believable enough, even if it's a little bit predictable. I sort of feel like this film has more of a niche audience, because you kind of have to really be into the outdoors and all that stuff to really enjoy this film a lot more. But even if you're not into that stuff, you can still enjoy this film because it has some fun hijinks in the wilderness and some fun jokes along the way. It's definitely not a boring movie. It'll keep you interested throughout. It is very manly. I mean, I guess that's the right way to say it. It's very macho, manly, because you got a lot of crude jokes, especially from Danny McBride's character. And it's just a very manly film, very macho. I don't know how else I would put it, but that's how I felt with watching this film. Even without the crude jokes, Danny McBride is really entertaining in this movie. I don't know if it was written that way, because Danny McBride's one of the people who wrote the script for this film, but he does get a majority of the good jokes in the film. Although they are, like I said, crude, but if you like crude humor, it won't really bother you at all, but I'm just throwing that out there if you're not into crude, manly kind of humor. Don't get me wrong though, none of his jokes are gut-busting funny, but you get a few chuckles at least from him. If I had any negatives, it would just be that this film is very paint by numbers, predictable, like you've seen everything in this film done before, just much better in a different film. I mean, alcoholism father, trying to reconnect with his son, recently divorced, his son hasn't, disconnect with him, and the funny friend in the you've seen all this stuff before. It's done again, just in the wilderness setting. So, I mean, it's predictable, but it's fun at the same time, but not too much fun. This is just one of those films where I'd say it's okay. You don't have to go and watch it immediately. If you're just randomly scrolling through Netflix wanting something to watch, turn it on. I mean, it's literally less than 90 minutes long, so you're not going to really waste too much time, even if you don't like it. But if you like Josh Brolin, he does a great job in this. Danny McBride has a few laughs. The kid's okay with what he's given, but he's just a kid that doesn't really give much to this performance. But, if you like the wilderness, outdoor hijinks, some crude jokes, all that stuff, I mean, this film's definitely more up your alley than probably most people feel like. I mean, I like this kind of stuff sometimes. I used to be really into these kind of things, but I've kind of grown out of it as I've gotten older. But yeah, if any of that interests you, feel free to give this a watch. It's on Netflix right now. But yeah, those are just my quick thoughts on The Legacy of the Whitetail Deer Hunter. Feel free to leave in the comments down below what you think of the film when you see it. If you plan on seeing it, let me know. Also, feel free to leave a like, hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all my movie reviews, trailer reactions, unboxings, and more. Until the next time, I will see you guys later.